Well guys, it's that time. A brand new Marvel Studios show is upon us as Moon Knight is set to release tomorrow. Now typically Marvel Studios does allow releases way ahead of schedule, but this wasn't one of the cases in which they let the reviews come out like 5 to 6 days before like they typically do. And maybe there's a reason, because if you start looking at the reviews, there's a lot to talk about. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and unfortunately, what sounds like the boring. So as always, I'm not singling out any single outlet. I'm not focusing on a specific review from a specific person or anything like that. What I generally do is look at about 10 to 12, sometimes 15 reviews and kind of gather the general consensus from the biggest names out there in the industry and the biggest outlets. And then you sort of see where it lands. And essentially what I've been able to see is that if you combine everything, and again, the aggregate scores aren't out yet as of recording this, you're essentially landing at like a 6.5 to a 7.8, 7.9-ish if you're using that type of scale. And in regards to the show, first let's get to the good. The good, the visual effects, the actors, Oscar Isaac, the lore, the world, what they're going for, the performances, the action, the new corner of the MCU. That's all the good. The bad, a bit slow, takes time to do anything, might leave you a little bit bored here or there, which obviously ties into the title with the good, the bad, and the boring. A few of the reviews talk about the fact that, yes, this is set in the MCU, obviously, but the disconnection from it and the fact that they try to almost ignore some of the events might leave some people desiring more, if you will. What I will say that people did talk about how it does not shy away from the comics, and it actually uses those to present this character in a very good way, which also brings me to question the other reviews that honestly, it looks like those people have never read the comics, and they might be coming at this from a little bit of a, apprehensive approach, because again, chances are that most of these people just know of Moon Knight, Marvel's Batman, which isn't the case. And you see them questioning exactly why this show is the way it is, and why did the MCU choose to do this show and this character specifically. Again, I'm trying to avoid some spoilers here, but violence is brought up, and how different this character is compared to some of the other characters. The reality that they're in, the questions that they bring up, and what could be illusion and what could be really happening is also brought into question here, which again, as a comic book fan of Moon Knight, I think most of us kind of expect this in the show. But again, just because we expect it in the live action doesn't mean it could be pulled off perfectly or even good, which is kind of what I'm getting here from some of these reviews. Again, it could go either way, but I'm definitely getting a super mixed bag from this, and we'll see how this shakes out over the course of the next day to two, once more reviews and once, of course, all of us get to see it. But I think it makes sense now why Marvel Studios sent out 4 episodes to critics, because maybe they were unsure about the first episode being able to hold interest, and these reviews clearly hint towards that.